What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man.
2 weeks later.
2 weeks after Shane's been on his extravagant brown bass hunting.
Dude, that was so fun.
Yeah,
so
man.
fun. Ridiculous. Ridiculously fun.
I went and chased some goldfish.
Yeah, you did. The reds.
The redfish.
The reds. But you only went and did that for a day.
Yeah, I think I'm selling all my bass fishing stuff, so there's that.
I think I'm selling all my greenfish stuff and just moving up north. I'm going to get a snow shovel and some boots, and we'll just hang out during the winter, do a little ice fishing, and then chase brown ones the rest of the year because it's so fun.
You mean chase brown ones for about 3 months out of the year, whatever their season is?
3 or 4 months. Yep. But no, went to St. Clair, went to St. Lawrence, got out of there right when the elites were rolling into town, and that was it. So, but yeah, that was, I don't know, drove like 5,000 miles in 2 weeks, something like that, something light.
No that's a haul from down here in this part of Texas where we live. That's a just a good little drive, man. We've had in the 2 week span that we have not been since we did our first live Milliken, our live call-in, should I say. There's been a lot of crap go on in the fishing industry.
Been a lot.
I'd like to sit here and say it was for good, but I don't know. a lot of not great.
No, there's been a lot going on here. Last 2 lead events, they were back-to-back, Champlain and then the St. Lawrence River. We actually have a guest tonight, and we were not going to subject him to the live hotline because, well, that just wouldn't be very nice to do our second one and just feed him to the wolves.
Yeah, we're going to have Robert G.
I say we just bring him on.
Robert G. G is for Gangster.
Robert G. the Gangster. We're just going to go ahead and bring him in just like that. I'm going to swap him over to the big side.
How y'all doing?
We're making it, brother.
Living the dream.
Heck yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
You bet.
Absolutely, man.
I have no idea if you can hear us while you kind of like sitting off to the side there, but I was just talking about how I just left up there and came back to the incinerator known as Texas where it's 1,000 degrees.
Hey, at least y'all get to hunt for big bass down in Texas. I'm about to head back where it's 1,000 degrees in Tennessee, and our bass are small and it's terrible. So it's better.
What is home body of water for you?
Fort Loudon.
Lord, nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fort Loudon.
Sorry, but Knoxville.
Pretty rough. Yes, I live in Knoxville.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
Tennessee's a cool state, though. I'd move there. You got a lot of lakes you can drive to. They're pretty close. What's your favorite in the state?
Probably Del Hollow.
Nice.
Chickamauga, too. Those are my 2 favorites.
Chick's got big ones.
Yeah, Chick's got monsters, but it's not as great as people think it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of pretty tough. It's feast or famine. But with live scope now, everybody's good at it, and they're just beat to death.
Yeah, I feel like that's dang near everywhere now. So,
for sure.
Yeah, man. So, did you grow up around that area? Like, you got a bunch of TVA experience? Would you say, or like, is that where you're comfortable? Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, Fort Loudon is a TVA lake because it's the start of the Tennessee River, but it doesn't set up like any of the other TVA lakes. It's more of a straight river. So, but I grew up fishing Fort Loudon, Watts Bar, and Chickamauga. Those were the main 3 I focused on growing up. So yeah, Tennessee River, that kind of like the East Tennessee River fishing. It's a lot different.
Probably
in Pickwick, a lot different.
Yeah, probably not what everybody's accustomed to when they think of TVA or Tennessee River fishing, probably. Yeah.
Really, the only places like that is Chickamauga on the lower end. It's similar to like Gunnersville.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm a big Pickwick fan. I like Pickwick. That's a fun lake to fish.
Shane, did you fish our open last year at Watts Bar?
I did. I fished all 9. I don't remember how I did at Watts Bar. I don't think I did that well. I think I finished I think I finished 2 places out of the money actually, like 44th or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. It was the smallmouth got me because what was it, like a 16-inch limit or something there? Or 18. Yes. I was catching like 16 and 17-inch smallmouth like crazy that couldn't bring in.
Yeah.
So no, that was a tough one. How'd you finish at that one? I'll get your stats right here.
41st maybe. I didn't do well.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I got in a bad rotation and I was fishing behind John Garrett, so that's not a good thing.
Yeah. So you were doing the grass thing too?
Yeah, I was doing grass because we could get a lot more bites. And I started on a deep hole every morning to get a limit. I mean, a limit of 15 inches.
Yeah.
That was rough.
No, that's a different lake for sure. It was it sucks basically is the best way I can describe it. Watts Bar is a terrible place. Which that was a weird time of year.
It's turning on this year though.
Yeah. Well, we went at a bad time, I would think too.
Definitely.
What is the best time to go there?
Probably March to May.
Okay.
About the best time to go somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah. But
there you go, man.
Well, no,
There's
man. I was
really,
looking at.
It's not ledges or anything cool like that. It's just like.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was actually fishing behind Trey. Is who I was fishing behind in that one.
Ooh.
He and I had kind of found some of the same little main lake stuff that had some good smallmouth on it in practice, and you could tell those fish had kind of got beat up on pretty bad. And he was in contention for AOI, so I kind of left him alone with it, which is, not everybody does that, as you may very well know. They don't just kind of leave people alone.
Mm-hmm.
But well, man, I was kind of going through your stats here, and like you have a short but rocket ship of a career. I mean, I didn't know how many opens you'd fished last year. I mean, you and I didn't get to talk very much, but so you jumped in the opens, fished all 9, qualify your first try. Now you're 9 elites in and have a stellar year. I mean, where the heck did you come from?
I came from the college series. Last year was my first year out of college. I finished in the top 10 and the team of the year in college. And when you do that, they give you automatic entry, like early code for the open. So I was like, if I signed up like a regular person, I wouldn't get in probably because there's such a long wait list. So I'm like, I got to just do this to get in there, get my foot in the door. So even if I don't make it, I'll probably be able to be on priority to fish it again. So that was kind of my thought process getting into the opens, and I qualified my first year. So that's what led me to where I'm at today.
Yeah,
that's special, man. It's hard to make it, especially just coming out year one and making it. Which I don't know. It seems like a lot of the rookie classes like their first shot at the opens, and they made it. It's been crazy. It's been kind of crazy in the fishing world in general, with the rookies kind of really taking a huge leap and starting to really be ahead of the game. And I think that's me and Shane we've talked about that several times on the podcast. So I think we can attest that to a lot of hard work and a lot of time on the water because, we kind of like to talk about it as almost like a new age of angler. These guys that just literally, live, breathe, and eat this sport. And as highly as competitive as it is, I think now with, with the high school series, with the college series, more than ever before, young anglers have a much better shot coming in than they ever have, and like I said prior to, the hard work that these guys are putting in, man, it's crazy, man. There's some 16, 17, 18-year-old kids out there that we don't know their name yet, but they're out there working hard too, and they're coming. This isn't something that I think is going away. So, you're a testament to that for sure.
Yeah, like as soon as I turned 18, like I was a freshman in college and pretty much fishing a semi-pro version of the Bassmaster Opens, if that makes sense. So I fit in. I love fishing so much, so I skipped class a bunch. You know what I mean? And it took me a while to graduate, so I fished in college the maximum amount of years you could. You know what I mean? So I fished the semi-pro of the Opens for 5 years, and then got into the Opens, and it wasn't a big change to me fishing in the Opens versus college because it was huge field, and I didn't have my co-angler adding to my bag. You know what I mean? So it was just like it was a pretty easily. It's not easy at all. It's so hard, but that's a terrible thing to say. But it didn't overwhelm me, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like I was.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean,
you know what I mean?
That's good to hear though that the college, because I didn't fish. I know Wyatt fished a little college, but I don't think we've ever asked anybody that, like if they felt like college fishing prepared them for the Opens. So it sounds like you kind of felt like the transition was there.
Yeah, just fishing all over the country and learning how to break down new bodies of water. That's what helped me out a ton in college, because I'm not one of the guys that would call guides and all that. I just went to a lake and said, I do this on Fort Loudon this year. Maybe let's try this on this lake. And like tried to figure out lakes like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's really what helped me in the Opens. It's just like I found my kind of style of fishing, taking it to all these other lakes in the country, and just applied that into the Opens and now into the Elites. So it helped me out.
What college did you go to?
I went to the University of Tennessee, UT.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's awesome.
Go
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, man. That's sick. Yeah, we've had John Garrett on before, and he kind of talked about that, not only like that college level preparing you for, that Opens level, because at the college level it gives you an opportunity to travel. But not only that, you're bringing kids from all around the country that maybe you got some boys from the South, you got some boys from up north, whatever. Your college is kind of a mix of all these guys that are pretty proficient with certain techniques or whatever it may be. They got their confidence in their own things, and y'all can all kind of pass that around. And I can see where that's a huge, advantage, going forward. It's not like, coming from a boat captain and going to the Opens, and out of high school, or coming out there and your home lakes, like for us, our home lake would be Sam Rayburn, and then we just get thrown out to the wolves. Like, it definitely is preparing guys a lot more for that next step.
Yeah, it was truly. I mean, that's the only reason why I'm on the Elite Series today, was because of fishing in college.
Yeah,
that's a big endorsement right there. But so was your sights kind of set on the Elites? Like, is that kind of what coming out of college? Like, I want to fish professionally. I'm going to go fish the Opens until I make it, or was it kind of like, let's see if I can get to the next level and we'll go from there?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do probably. From my third year in college to my second senior year, you know what I mean? Like the last 3 years of college, I had my sights set. I was going to either Toyotas or the Opens after I got out for at least 1, 2, or maybe 3 years if I got close. You know what I mean? That would have been my max. You know what I mean? 3 years. And if I didn't make it in 3 years, I was just going to give it up, and just fish around East Tennessee. But fortunately enough, I made it my first year, so it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. How was your first year? What is that experience like, being on the Elites? I mean, man, I know for me it's something that, like, growing up I looked at pretty hard, from my later high school years through college, like looking at the Elites, like that's a lot of guys' dreams. But I feel like it's changed so much in the past, I don't know, really the past couple of years.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Definitely the Elites is not when I grew up, what I watched, for sure. So what has that been like expectations wise, like what was it really like the God honest truth, you know what I mean, about the elites and fishing against that field? What is that like?
It is absolutely insane because, I mean, everything you can even possibly think about that anybody has ever caught a bass doing gets found by these guys. I mean, it's truly straight up killers on the water, and they know about everything. You know what I mean? And so you have to just honestly outfish guys beside you. You know what I mean? It's insane. But I mean, the guys I fish against truly are the best in the world. It's insane. And
Yeah.
if they're not the best in the world at that particular lake, somebody is in that tournament. You know what I mean? So it's just some straight killers.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I think one way, this just came in my head, I think one way it's changed a lot, and I'm not necessarily saying this is a knock on any previous elite guys throughout the years, but it seems like it almost used to be like, hey, this is going to be a cranking tournament, you better watch out for this guy. Or, hey, this is going to be a flipping tournament, you better watch out for this guy. Where more it's now like, you better watch out for everybody because you don't know really who's going to win when you show up.
Yeah,
like
for sure. Like fantasy fishing, I would hate to do that because who knows who's going to do good. Like I'll just pick Patrick Walters at every tournament.
Dude, I bombed at fantasy fishing this year, and I'm pissed because I used to.
I got it good. The last one saved my season because I freaking picked them good. So
yeah, everybody picked me for the Wheeler, and that was like one of my worst things.
Truly,
you're definitely
it's truly different.
Fantasy picks now.
Yeah, for sure. So where did this?
Hold on, I want to stick on the going to the elites here. I want to hear more on like the business side of things. I mean, that's something that we always kind of bring up in conversations with other anglers. You know, a lot of people have this perception that, you know, you fish the opens, you start doing well, it's easy to gain sponsors. They're just knocking the door down, and everybody wants a piece of future elites. What was that like for you? And maybe it was easy, and I hope it was, but you know, I'm just curious your perspective on, you know, the sponsorship game transitioning from college to the opens to the elites.
Yeah, so to get into the opens, I had one sponsor, and he paid for half of my entry fees, and I paid myself for the other half. And with Tuesday night, Thursday night jackpot money, I won from like 3 years on Fort Loudon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, so going into every tournament, I was like, I have to cash a check. You know what I mean? To get gas money for this tournament. And that's one thing I really think helped me qualify my first year was like having to actually cash a check to break even on the year. And like, I guess if you break even, like if you come out maybe barely in the plus, you probably are going to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I qualified, my phone did not ring one time from anybody calling me like, "Hey, you made the elites. Let me give you some money." Yeah. That did not happen.
Here's a briefcase.
Yeah, not at all. That does not happen, or at least for me, it didn't. Maybe for Logan Parks, I feel like that might have happened to him. But
he's
very good with business. I'm not the greatest, but I had to work for it, and
he's definitely pretty good at the marketing side.
I got some great sponsors this year, and I'm just blessed to be able to do it.
Well, so that had to have been kind of scary. Like if you kind of were out there on your own, right? You know, half of it, you had half of entries paid, and you're out on your own dime a little bit for the rest. I mean, when you qualified for the elites, I mean, there had to have been a thought in your mind like, all right, cool, I qualified. How am I going to pay for this? So did you start knocking on doors and
oh yeah, I mean, I probably asked 60 to or emailed 60 to 100 different companies and people. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yeah.
landed like 12. So
Well, that's
it's
not bad.
not easy.
No. Did you kind of go the non-endemic route, or were you kind of staying in the industry? How did you map it out for us? Tell us how to get some money to
Yeah, I
get paid.
both. Non-endemic is huge, and like one of my sponsors this year is Visit Knoxville, and it's like the board of Knoxville that gets the tournaments to the town, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like the all that. So that is one a huge sponsor of mine that I'm very thankful for, and it's a non-endemic. And Enduro Power Batteries, they were my sponsor last year in the Opens, and now they're my title sponsor on the Elites. And they worked with me in college, so that's how I worked for them. Like I would go to ICAST with them in college, and that's
Oh,
kind of
nice.
how I got my foot in the door with them. And now they're my title sponsor on the Elites, which is incredible. But
Yeah.
basically after that, it was just kind of I didn't know very many people in the industry at all to call, so I had like my buddy Matt McKee, who is one of my sponsors. He is a tackle store owner, so he knows some like
Some reps and stuff.
distributors and reps, and I got emails and all that kind of stuff to reach out to all these companies, and that's pretty much kind of the way. Kind of got to get your foot in the door.
Yeah. Well, and then you go and you follow that up with having a stellar season like you had, and that's probably makes things, I would hope makes things a little easier,
For sure.
transitioning next year. Hopefully that's opens some doors for you and have some conversations with some new companies or grow with the companies that you're already kind of starting to work with. But
No doubt.
well, that's cool, man. And watch you, kind of put it all on the line, put your chips in and start catching them. Did we lose Wyatt? Where the heck did he go?
I think we did.
There
I've
he is.
just been sitting in the background listening.
Well,
Shane just
that's what
leaving
you
me
get.
out.
That's what you get. You always end up getting kicked off.
It's my dad, dude. He's calling me.
Well, you got to tell Dad, tell Papa Frankins we're recording right now. We got G. I keep wanting to say G Man, but can't do that because I already did G Man. So what's
I say
G the
Rob
Gangster?
G. The G is for gangster, bro.
G is for Gangster.
I mean,
like
I'm gonna tell you what I saw on live. So that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, where did this like persona of Rob G. the Gangster come in? Because I watch you on live and like that is freaking dope, bro. Like between like Toledo and like this last live, we're out there doing the Heisman. We're out there, this is for America. We're talking a little smack.
That's my favorite line right there.
Like I like it. I mean, I like the flair. That's what it's all about, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's just I just like to be myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to be, a lot of people. That was one of the biggest eye-opening things for me on the Elites this year. And I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but a lot of the guys you see that I looked up to a long time, they're not really the same people they are on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like that. I just want to be the same person on camera and behind the camera, because that's being authentic. And I think that matters a lot. So
I agree 100%. No, you can tell the guys that kind of have a persona and I get it. It's how they get paid, whatever. Or maybe they just, they're just not very friendly. And so they know they need to be somebody else on camera. And that's, whatever.
Yeah.
If you got a terrible personality, maybe you should be somebody else. But I mean, you seem pretty cool and down to earth for sure. And that comes through. But, yeah.
What was this is for America? What was that? Why'd you say that?
Man, I was
just fired up.
I was just fired up. Yeah. A lot of things were going through my head, and that was about the only thing. That was about the only thing PG that I could say.
Yeah, man, that's freaking awesome.
Honestly, you handled that situation so well. I mean, obviously we got to talk about it a little bit, and you can tell us to shift gears if we need to, but I mean, I did kind of want to hear your side of the story. I watched every minute live because, like I said, I was driving 26 hours home, so we just had it playing in there. And So watch day one. They didn't have a camera on you, but you could see they had one on Trey and JT. And I guess you were like a couple hundred yards from them because they would show you every now and then off to the side. I
Well,
mean,
my deal too is like before you get into it, like there's always things that happen on the water. Like we deal with it here locally, right? Because we fish Rayburn and Toledo Bend. Like it's freaking a madhouse. It's crazy. It's like it is everywhere, but Rayburn and Toledo have its own set of drama, just like every other local pond does. But
a lot of TV drama.
Exactly. Like, but what people don't understand is it's real easy for things to look one certain way on social media, but the truth of the matter on the water never really gets brought out to light near enough as it should, because what you see, the highlight reel or whatever little bit you see from that time on the water is not everything that's taking place behind the scenes, because we're talking about minimal time here that what people are seeing versus what is actually going on from pre-practice to practice to tournament day, like decisions, like all this stuff that nobody sees. And like, to me, that's where the sport has we've got a little sidetracked here, because that's where you see all these social media people that really like to run their mouths when they don't really know what the hell's going on. And so to me, that's really what it's about, man. Like just bringing light to a situation that obviously, has blown up on social media and doesn't look good totally from the outside looking in. Maybe I told Shane this the other day, like if just looking at from the outside looking in, if I was just, hey, like what is bass fishing? You're on FS1. Here's Fox Sports. I don't know what bass fishing is, but I'm tuning in and I see this going on. I'm thinking, is this NASCAR? Like, is this redneck? Is this, are these people rednecks? Are they going to brawl? Like, I don't know what's going on, because I'm not, I'm just talking about if I didn't know anything about bass fishing, this is what I'm seeing. So, I mean, just, I guess in your point of view, I know if it was me, I would definitely want to talk about it. So just, from your point of view, practice and everything.
So basically in practice, I had horrible practice because I'm top 10 at Champlain and didn't get on the water because we only had 2 days of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was beat from day 4, the day before practice started. So I slept in till like 9 or 10 o'clock just so I could get some rest. Got out there and screwed off for a couple hours because I wasn't in the right headspace. And then rolled up on that place I caught him on and caught like a 6-pounder. And I was like, oh, dude, that's pretty cool. And Tyler Williams was a couple hundred yards beside me. It was like a pretty big ledge kind of deal. And he caught one. And we like went and talked. And I was like, what's up, man? How big was that one you just caught? And he said, it was a 5. I was like, well, dang, I just caught a pretty big one too. So I was like, I guess everybody's going to find this hole. So I left and went and tried to find other stuff. And I really could only catch like 18 or 19 pounds on anything else. So by the time the tournament started, I was stressed out. I called John Garrett on the drive back to our house, and I was like, dude, this was going to be a bad tournament for me. I literally have like one place I think I could even catch 20 pounds, and I think everybody in the tournament's going to start on it. He's like, well, I'm headed. He said, I don't have anything either, so I'm headed out to freaking one of the islands in the middle of Lake Ontario. And I said, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay in the river and try to get a check and head back to Tennessee. You know what I mean? So I run down there day 1 in the river to that spot. And lo and behold, there's already a couple boats on it. I think Trey and JT are around this green buoy out there. So I just go to the opposite side. And then like Kyle Patrick comes and pulls up on it. And I think Wesley Gore maybe pulls up on it too. So like all us freaking rookies.
The entire rookie class is
we didn't even talk about it. You know what I mean? But like we knew it went down there last year in our open when we fished there. So we were like, we all checked it and there was fish on it. So we are like, let's go back there because we caught some big ones there. So I guess we all started on it, and nobody caught anything except Trey that morning. And then about 9:30 or 10, I caught like a 5-pounder and started getting it rolling. I figured out the cadence they wanted and how they were setting up. But like in practice, I kind of just burned through it and didn't really know what was going down. But I figured it out as that first day went on because I didn't really have anything else I really felt confident in. So that day one, I caught 25-12. And like I really practiced that first day, like that whole area, and figured it out, like all the sweet spots and marked them and all that. So by the end of the day, me and Trey were the only people there. And like I said, those were the people that fished there day one. Those guys that named off. So day two, we run down there, and me and Trey's the only person that comes. Kyle Patrick tells me at blast off because he left early and didn't catch a thing there. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna come at like 10:30 or 11 because I feel like that's the right thing to do since you actually whacked them there. But I would like to catch at least one or two after like I go and fish some of my other stuff." And I was like, "All right, that's fine. You showed up day one. That's perfectly fine." So me and Trey run down there and we start fishing, and after about an hour, Chris Johnston rolls up. I'm like, what the crap is he doing? Doesn't he have 90,000 boulders and rocks and everything on the entire St. Lawrence and Lake Ontario marked? Why does he got to fish a big community hole? So he goes over there and like sits next to Trey, and I don't know what the heck happened, but it was like God delivering manna back in the day. You know what I mean? Absolutely cracking them, and Trey's absolutely cracking them, and he's not catching a thing. And it was just lights out for a minute. I caught like 26 pounds in like 30 minutes.
I watched that all go down on live.
It was the most fun thing I've ever done. Like I threw back a 5-pounder.
Jesus.
Awesome. But he left shortly after because he just didn't really vibe with it, you know. So I didn't think anything of it and just kept kind of leaning on him because I figured I needed like a Johnston size bag, like a 28 pound
I was
bag.
wondering, I mean, not to cut you off, but I was wondering, I was like, what is he doing still sitting there? I was like, dude, you got a bag.
There was a lot of fish there, and I've always watched on live these guys up there on the St. Lawrence. They're just like absolutely creaming them, and they eventually catch 28 pounds. You know what I mean? So that was my goal, was try to catch a magnum size bag.
Gotcha.
But I caught a 26-12 or something, which is
pretty magnum
smallmouth I've ever had.
That's a bag. That's a bag. There ain't no doubt about it.
I just ran in. I mean, that was the best day of my life right there.
Yeah.
Just cracked them. And then I weigh in, and I'm tied for the lead. 52-7. Tied for the lead with Corey Johnston. Me, my ass, and Corey Johnston. Can you believe that? You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, that's pretty sick. I feel like it's David versus Goliath. I'm sure my spot will fizzle out tomorrow. So I run down there, and day 3, because I was boat number 1 or boat 2.
Yeah. Sure.
Because they do it by order you are on day 3.
Uh-huh.
And get down there, I catch like a 5-pounder on my first cast. I'm like, heck yeah. And it's just me and Trey down there because he's got a bass cat that goes like 98. And he everybody's down there. But then all of a sudden, and also to preface this, Bassmaster posted a video of me in my live scope from day 2. That was pretty awesome.
I saw that.
And it showed me like throwing a jig head minnow and catching a big one, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like the spot I caught it on, you could see like a rock ledge.
Yeah, you can see the defined ledge.
Yeah. And that was like one of the sweet spots. So then Chris rolls up because he was like in the later flight. I think he was in like 34th on day 3. And he rolls up, sits next to me on that ledge, spot locks. And I'm like,
How close
heck?
we talking?
I mean, pretty close. But like the way the current was, I would drift down this way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Toward him, so it like probably looked bad on live with me around him. You know what I mean? Because I probably would get closer and closer, but I wasn't like trying to do that as a big move. But I mean, he set on the juice, and I guess he won a tournament there. But I didn't know that. Like, I really didn't. I just knew it from the open, everybody catching him there. But I was like, what the heck are you doing, dude? You're not even in the top 10. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, I was just like, that's not cool. Come on now. And he's like, well, I made this spot famous. I was like, all right, whatever. So I just fished around him, and he caught like 29 pounds and just absolutely creamed him. Every time I looked over my shoulder, he was holding up. Like,
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you guys both caught him there that day.
yeah, I caught 25, but like I was just bebopping around on not the juice.
Yeah.
And every time I even looked over, he had another 6 or another 5.5. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he probably caught over 25 pounders that day. It was insane.
Jesus Christ, bro. You didn't say anything besides that first interaction? You didn't say anything else to him?
No, I mean, at one point after I seen him catch like 12 5-pounders, I ran over to my buddy John Garrett because I seen him turn around from going out on the lake. And I was trying to get him to come get on the ledge and get right next to us and catch him some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't do it. But so I catch 25 and I'm still in the lead, which was pretty awesome. And then day 4, we fish around each other again, and you could tell the fish were just absolutely hammered. They just weren't there and weren't set up right at all. I mean, there were still fish there, but it was just
They were scattered.
They got absolutely drilled.
Did you get to sit on what you're calling the juice on the final day at all, or no?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But,
Damn,
I mean,
I don't.
there was nothing left.
I don't know if I'd have handled that very. I mean, you handled it really
You
good.
handled it
That's
really
well. I see, because I didn't know the whole story about day 1, day 2. I didn't see. That's why I wanted to talk about, because I had no idea.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything to you when he pulled up that 3rd day, like, "Hey, bro, like I'm gonna," because I mean, he said it on live before takeoff. They got a clip of him saying like, I'm going there. Like, sorry, Robert. I mean, he says it on live, so. I mean,
No, he didn't say nothing to me.
Didn't say anything before takeoff, like, "Hey, bro, I'm coming," like nothing.
No.
Did him and then the clip.
He showed
I'm
up
sure
with the same bait I was throwing.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see both. That was convenient.
Oh man, that is just not a good look, bro. I don't like. I'm a fan of the Johnson brothers. I really am, but Jesus Christ, I mean, I don't know where you could. I'm trying to see the good in it. I'm trying.
I mean,
It's just I can't see anything good about the situation here. I mean, you got that clip, which I'm sure you saw, of Corey like fired up, I guess, on the final day, like really just not talking good about you, dude. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I'm sure you've seen that clip.
I think he was just trying to be funny.
I don't know. He said he was pissed off, so I don't know. Maybe he wasn't.
Dude, I like your attitude, dude. I like the way you kind of just shrugged it off. I mean, you've had a hell of a season, and I don't want to harp on it because it's over. There's nothing you can change about it now. But I think after just hearing your side of the events, which I kind of already knew because I was watching live, and they didn't. Bass tried to zone and all them kind of tried to shy away from it a little bit. I mean, they had to talk about it a little bit, but man, you just don't. And I don't even like this. I'm not a big Slick Johnson fan. I'm sorry if everybody who's listening is. He just kind of annoys me. But He, to his credit, he did say today something about, you just don't come in on the leader, and that's just something that we don't. I just, it's kind of one of those unspoken rules, man. I was kind of hoping on the day 4 he wasn't going to do it. I figured, okay, you got your AOY, now get out of the way and give him a shot to go win it. But then obviously his brother is fishing against you, so man,
Exactly.
but dude, you handled it like an absolute pro. Because you can ask Wyatt. Wyatt and I are team partners, and I've gotten better, but I tend to lose. I tend to lose my stuff every now and then if somebody's just.
Yeah, Shane will blow a gasket on somebody fast. Yeah,
I do something wrong.
I can't, dude. I just maybe Corey
I
was
mean, yeah,
joking,
it was hard not to. But I mean, you got to think about there's a freaking live camera behind you, so
yeah,
that's kind of what I had to think about.
Yeah,
oh man,
I definitely think you should get a T-shirt of you Heismaning a 6-pound smallmouth, and then underneath it says, "This is for America."
Yeah,
it would be awesome.
Dude,
yeah, I think you might have to do that.
I would buy that shirt straight up.
That would be freaking awesome. That's a good idea. I'm gonna have to do that.
Dude, you do it, I'll buy it, and I'll help promote the merch. Like you got to do that. But
heck yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, but
I mean, I had a great week. I think I had the first century belt out of the actual river. Like all the other century belts were in the lake, but the one I caught. I mean, everyone I caught was in the river. So that's cool. Pretty awesome.
I told Wyatt because I talked to him while I was up there fishing the river, and obviously I can't talk to any of you guys, but I had told Wyatt, I said, man, I think the river is going to play in this tournament. Like, there's some big ones to be caught in the river. Like I had a blast before y'all got there, and I'm like, man, I could see somebody smashing in the river, and you dang sure did it.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's no telling what I could have caught too if I'd had it to myself. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I don't want to. Again, it's over, so it doesn't really matter. But you have that to yourself. You blow the tournament out.
I think there's at least day 3. I think you might have put such a big gap there that it couldn't have been catchable. Maybe, you know what I mean?
I would love to have seen a dirty 30 on smallmouth.
Because day 3, the wind picked up, and that spot they got so good when the wind would blow good.
Yeah.
And days 1 and 2, the wind was not blowing at all. So like anytime there would be a little breeze, that's when you'd catch something. They would get fired up.
Did you
perfect wind?
Did you ever have a conversation with them after the event?
No.
Got you.
Corey apologized about what he said on Mercer's.
Oh, that's cool.
Thing. Yeah.
Did he blame it on the smelling salts that Mercer gave him before he asked him all the questions? He got all fired up on smelling salts or whatever they're called.
I don't think so, but that's probably had something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's cool that he came and apologized to you. I mean, those dudes are, I mean, like you said, man, you took it well. And like you said, you're there sharing the lead with Corey Johnson. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I kind of take it a different perspective. I kind of feel honored, you know what I mean? Because the greatest smallmouth fishermen on the St. Lawrence River were like, we got to play a little defense. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Dude, you gave him a scare for sure. I was not gonna lie, I was hoping you had it. Just because, I mean, you got so close on the last 2. So I wanted to see you win one. And you will. I'm sure you will. So that was quite a run the last 3 tournaments, but
yeah, man, you took it like a champ. You did.
I'm kind of bummed out that I missed the whole party last year in the opens because I fished that open up there. I guess I just missed that whole everybody catching them out there on that spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd heard that we're something about it, but I scratched that off. I was not going through the narrows. I was like, nope, I'm staying on this side.
I tried to fish some just different isolated stuff in the opens last year, just something that nobody else was fishing.
Yeah. No, that place is a phenomenal fishery, but Had you had much smallmouth experience other than last year there, or is this kind of the most smallmouth fishing
I
you've done?
mean, this was my 4th tournament at the St. Lawrence River.
Oh, okay.
4th or 5th. So in college we had 2. Then in the opens we had 1, and then this year 4th.
Yeah.
In college we had a bed fishing St. Lawrence tournament, and then a tournament here the exact week we were here this week.
Gotcha.
Man, gosh dang it, Rob G. I
What?
just don't feel good about it, man.
G the gangster.
I don't feel good about the situation, but I'm glad you got a great attitude. And you know what? You came into a week with low expectations, it sounded like, and you came out really looking clean. So, man, just goes to show you that sometimes you ain't got to be on everything in the world to make a hell of a tournament out of it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm too terribly mad, because I mean I did not find anything worth the crap other than that spot. I mean, that spot was definitely the best spot on the river.
Oh,
Lake
yeah.
Christmas showed up. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I found a great spot.
Did
Yeah,
you go
well,
out to the lake at all in practice?
Yeah, I went out there and I did not know what was going on, because I'd never been there before. Because every open and college tournament we ever been out of was Waddington, so we couldn't go to the lake. I'd never even been out there.
Yeah.
Out
That's
there.
an intimidating.
Yeah, that's why I'm staying up here for a few days, just to go out there and just see it.
Yeah.
How's the weather going to be for the next couple of days? You guys going to get a chance to get out there?
Yeah, on Wednesday, the max wind is 5 miles per hour. So I'm going to go out there and spend all day.
Maybe just 5-footers or something.
It said 1-footers, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Today
It seems
there were
like
6-footers.
It seems like there's always a swell out there, though. Even when there's no wind, there's just like a leftover swell
roll.
from when it was blowing.
Yeah.
I will say that about watching some of the footage from Corey. That is, that's a tough bastard. He was out there throwing up. So those waves were for real, bro. That was nuts. That was.
I mean, there ain't no way I was doing that. I think he was like the only guy doing that. One of like 4 guys out there.
Yeah.
Everybody else turned around.
No, I figured if anybody was going to go, it was going to be one of the Johnson brothers for sure. But man, that was a heck of a tournament. I enjoyed watching it. But so you looking forward to next year, assuming?
Yeah, for sure. I hope they release a good schedule. I don't know really anything where we're going or nothing. I'm a rookie.
Dude, it drives me nuts that Bass is always the last to announce their schedule.
Well, they got the goddamn opens going till Christmas every year. So I mean,
That's
what do you do? You know,
I think the opens don't end until October 25th or something. So that's probably when we'll find out, somewhere time in October.
Yeah, for sure, man. They man, they've got a bunch of, it's coming out more and more, not just from Bass, but now MLF too. But all these rule changes and stuff. Do you foresee that being a switch up next year, or like a major change? And like, I don't know, basically overall, I don't know what they're going to do from the Bass side, but I've heard from the MLF side it could get a little crazy over there. But I mean, this will be the first year that we see some stipulations put on it from a lot of organizations, and going forward, I don't really know if they'll ever be able to put a leash on this thing, or what's fixing to happen. But what's your thoughts on that whole deal?
I think that's the dumbest thing ever. Honestly,
yeah.
I mean, they should have never banned the Alabama rig, because it's really not as lethal as it was in 2011. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whenever they start banning crap, it's just stupid to me.
Yeah.
I mean, fish are already getting, like at Champlain, they've seen a jighead minnow for a year now. Like, so they're already smart enough to, only catch like 1 of every 10.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then in another year, they're not going to bite it. They're going to be on the bottom hiding from that. So we need the live scope to freaking figure out the next thing. Like they're going to evolve to a different kind of creature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well,
And,
actually,
like, if they take it away from us, we're going to these sweet lakes with nothing to figure them out, and all the locals are just beating on them like that. So it's pretty dumb. Why would we want to come to the St. Lawrence River and catch 22 pounds a day to win?
Yeah.
You want people to catch century belts.
Yeah. For sure. The weights will go down if they
think about when we were at Fork, like all the 30-pound bags. It would have been awful. Like, I mean, somebody would have cracked 30 every day, but there'd have been like one guy, maybe.
Toledo too. Toledo would have been awful.
Toledo.
Yeah.
I just don't. But I mean, I'm 25, so I have a different perspective than most.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually, I mean, just made me think of something. I never even thought about it from this angle. But so say you ban it on a professional level and you're going to these lakes that are popular as ever. Now you can't put the genie back in the bottle, right? Everyday anglers are still going to have it, the technology, and they're still going to use it, especially the guys that are probably on there griping about it. They go out there on the weekends and turn their scope on. But they might, their argument might be, well, it doesn't have a place in professional angling. But if you think about this, if you don't have it and the locals are out there beating the fish up with it, it's going to make it that much harder for y'all to catch them.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I didn't think about that.
I mean, this is none of this is official, but just from rumors in the bass fishing universe, the potential of what we could see next year is one league completely banning it, being the NPFL potentially. We've got potentially the MLF allowing it only in one period of the BPT next year. We've got potentially at the Toyota Series and BFL level getting away with it completely, potentially. So this is not set in stone. I'm not claiming that it is. This is just rumors. But
just rumors.
I know for a fact I got a survey.
I got the survey
from MLF about my take on forward facing sonar, and it asked if we should make no changes, allow it for half a day. This is at the Toyota level. That shouldn't even be an option. Lord knows how you'd ever police that. That's a shit show in the making. Don't even have that as an option. And the third option is to ban it completely. And so now we're looking at potentially next year being a year of chaos. I mean, just pure, I don't know. Like Shane said, the genie's out. It's hard to get it back in the ball. But for me, it's like, where does it stop? And if MLF does all those things that I was just talking about, that is a hard stance. That is a hard stance against it for sure. And golly, it's going to be crazy, man. And then that brings me back to what happens at the team levels all over the country. Not just here in Texas. We got these big team trails. Like, those organizations kind of sit back and see what the top level organizations are going to do with their rules, and how does that trickle down all across the board and all the tournaments across the nation? I don't know, man. It's just going to be a very different. We're potentially going to see a very different bass fishing world going forward. You know what I mean? And I don't know what your take on all that is, but that all those things I just said could be potentially happening in 2025.
I think all of that is just very dumb. And if they were going to limit it, anything at like, they shouldn't ban it. That's dumb. But if they do ban something about it, just limit it to one. You get one screen with one live scope transducer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I'm with it. I'm with that.
No, I just don't think you can go backwards.
No, I
think
Rick, you can say,
honestly,
don't have 6 of them. Okay, fine. I didn't really need 5 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a bunch of them on your boat?
I got 3.
Have you run it out the side?
Yeah, I have a sniper marine pole.
Oh, that's right. I think I saw that live. You got it sitting back
Yeah.
there behind your seats. How do you like side scan with it?
I love it. I mean, because whenever I see a brush pile or a boulder, especially a boulder up here, I can literally take my sniper pole and use the little thing and twist and follow that thing while I'm idling instead of it just being fixed.
Yeah. So like if you're not looking, you miss it.
Yeah. So I can see it on my side scan, and then if it's on the left side of my boat, I can just twist it and it'll shoot under the boat over there. You know what I mean? So I got 360 coverage when I'm at the steering wheel.
See, Wyatt, I think that's the way to do it. Wyatt and I've been talking about it here.
Well,
They ain't banning it in our team tournament, so we're like, how many deuces are we running this year, Wyatt?
well, they ain't done it yet. They just don't hold your breath. We still got a lot of 2024 left.
I'll tell Brandon Belt what's up. I'll be like, hey.
Well, he might not do it. See, Brandon Belt's like the bass master of the team world. You know what I'm saying? We're not just gonna ban it. We might do a little something, but we're not gonna be that. We're not extremists. We're not the. I feel like Bassmaster and Brandon Belt, we're like the Republican Party, and then you got these guys over here. They're like not even Democrats at this point. They're just like straight up liberals. You know what I mean? And so that's where we're at. I mean, that's just say what you want, but it is what it is.
That's honestly true. I mean, they might change the rule after one tournament if it don't work out for them.
But don't you worry. We've got liberals in the organization that are trying. They're trying.
Woke, you go broke.
That's right.
It's unbelievable, dude. I mean, it makes me cringe, to be honest.
Yeah, we get tired of talking about it, but obviously it's the center. It comes up in every conversation, so we had to kind of get your take, which I kind of guessed, but
yeah, I mean, dude, if you talk to anybody my age or younger, nobody's complaining about it.
Yeah,
we all love it. We think it's insane,
dude. It's fun. Anyway, whatever.
It's taught us more.
We actually know what fish do now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're actually angling to what they actually live and do.
Yeah.
Not by what your granddad said the wind told him on this day in 1953.
Yeah.
Black dead ringer worm.
Yeah.
Drag it slow and count to 6. Like
I think Rick Cludd said it best when he said that he's learned more about bass fishing behavior in his recent years than he ever did on all the other years combined. I mean, that's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
To really sit back and you hear somebody like him who actually, kind of respects the game for what it is and how it's evolving. It's ever evolving. It's ever changing. And he believes, which I think should be a pretty constant belief, is that you got to change with it. And man, it's almost refreshing hearing something like that.
He said it's a privilege. It's a privilege to get to use it.
Literally.
I mean, like we're totally missing the boat here. It's another tool, and we should be so lucky to be fishing for a living. And use the tools. Use the tools. But
yeah.
Well, man, you had an incredible rookie season, and I know we're gonna be watching you next year. And
thank you, guys.
I think you're
sure
gonna keep killing it along with the rest of your rookie class. I know the rookie class coming in behind you guys doesn't look any.
Yeah, we got some guns. We got some guns coming out of the open. So.
Yeah,
for sure, man. Yeah, man, keep being you, bro.
I'm just glad not to be a rookie anymore. Good Lord, that badge of honor is.
Dude, you like the rookie season. They have not been kind to the rookies this year, and I'm just. This is outside looking in. I mean,
it's horrible.
Hey, how many times have you been polygraphed this year? You been polygraphed a lot or no?
No, not me. Thankfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a few of them have.
Them Sun Guns, they just line them up for an hour. We decided
every tournament, every single tournament.
Yeah,
we ain't drawing the names of the hat. You go. We're gonna draw some names out of the hat, but you two, y'all just sit right. Y'all just sit right there.
2 names in the hat, and we're gonna draw them.
Golly.
Like the random name generator or something. That's what they do.
Only put their names in.
People. They put like Martin Menendez in there, and then like 2 guys.
Man.
So has that
Man.
disappointed you a little bit? The lack of welcoming. I mean, obviously, rookie in anything, you're going to get a little bit of.
I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I went to college. I was in a fraternity. I expected all that. So,
yeah.
didn't
Anybody
bother
been
me.
super cool though? Any veterans have been pretty cool too?
For sure.
Nice.
For sure.
Well, that's good, man.
It was just different. Because, you watch these guys on TV for so long, and you're just like, then when you get there, it's just like you actually see them. So it's just different.
Yeah. Well, so you just gonna fish the elites? You gonna fish opens or anything? You gonna try to expand your, keep a busy schedule? Or you just want to focus on the elites?
I think I got a call Bassmaster, and I'm gonna see if I can get in the last 2 opens. But I was talking to Logan Parks, my roommate. He signed up for those, and he's on the wait list. So I don't know if I can even get in for him.
Really? I figured towards the tail end of the season that they'd
last year. I know last year we didn't fill out a full field at it. Like the last 5. So
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I think Hershey only had like 180.
I love the Mississippi River because I went there in college a couple times, and it's just super cool. You know what I mean? Frogging and fishing current. And I love that place. I'd like to go back there, and then Hartwell.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be fun in the fall.
I need to go. I've only been there a handful of times. I need to get better there. It's not too far from my house, like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go there and just have a tournament there. I feel like you find more stuff and get really dialed in on a place better when you have a tournament that's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There instead of just going and pre-practicing or something like that, you get more dialed when you are fishing for money.
Heck yeah. No doubt. But, well, good luck. Hope you get in. I'm sure you will. I think some guys will kind of drop out and you'll be able to slide in there.
Hope so.
Man, you ever get a wild hair, come on down to Texas and
dude, I want to go back to Toledo, man. That was and playing in Toledo were my 2 favorite tournaments from this year for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Toledo's special.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Gosh,
did you get to fish Rayburn while you were down here at all for Toledo, or you just went straight to Toledo?
I've only been to Rayburn 2 days in my life, but I would like to go back.
Yeah.
Whenever I was there, it was freaking so windy.
Yeah.
Like,
Rayburn is
we had a big bash there in college. I mean, we had to go up shallow just to stay out of the wind because
that let get rolling.
I died. In college, they don't really care about postponing it, so they're just like, "Go,
good luck,
good luck, make it back
at your own will, brother."
Yep. So,
yeah, Rayburn's kind of a toilet, but whatever.
I don't know about that, y'all. When we were there for that tournament, some dude caught like 50 pounds in the Texas Team Trail on like a 10.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. That's Danny Isles and Brian Shook.
Yeah, they're killers.
That was the day before our tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they caught the biggest maggot ever weighed in on Rayburn.
Literally, like 49 pounds or something.
Yeah, it was. Yep, that's what it was.
No,
and nobody I talked to in practice was catching anything. And we were just like, what the?
Dude, that's Rayburn though. Like on paper, like you look at term results, you're like, oh, that leg's phenomenal. No, it's not. But if you're around them, you can catch a mega bag.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've heard about it from like talking to John Garrett, who fished to open there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like Toledo. I mean, Toledo, honestly,
Toledo's just full of bass, and I love it.
Yeah, that's
Toledo's
Rayburn's not.
Freaking hydrilla growing in 20 up to 20 foot. Like what the?
Yeah.
That's actually recent. It hadn't been like that in the last several years. So
that is bass heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's God's country, as we say.
Yeah, 70 billion trees. Just you can't just run around.
Yep.
No, it's tough to navigate. It's a monster. It's intimidating. It's a big lake. But it's got them, man. You can drop trolling motor anywhere out there and land on them.
Fact. Yeah, that's not Rayburn. That's not. We that's partially. Shane used to be the mayor of Basstown, aka Sam Rayburn, and he just didn't have a good term there when he was the mayor. He just, I don't know, didn't take care of the fishery like he should have.
Oh yeah. I set it up for us.
That's right.
Yeah. But
Well,
man,
we appreciate your time, bro.
I know it's
Thanks
late
for
up there.
having
We're gonna turn you loose, dude. We'll probably have you back on when you get your first W or something. Or
All right. That'd be cool.
all right.
Heck
Well,
yeah,
watch
bro.
out. Watch out for them Canadians over there.
Oh, I know. They want my head.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean?
I know. But I mean, honestly, it's Olympics and everything. It kind of fit
Yeah,
well.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The Olympics.
Nothing like a little good competition.
That's
Yeah.
right.
For sure.
Well, hey man. Well, we appreciate your time and have fun with your buddies catching them on Ontario.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you for having me.
You
Yes,
bet.
sir. See you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Y'all have a good one.
See you.
Man, I think I
G for Gangster.
compared the MLF and Bassmaster to the Republican and Democratic Party. I don't know why I did
You
that.
basically said that Boy Duckett is woke. Wait, am I allowed to say his name like that? Or am I supposed to say Floyd?
You already did it, man. He's suing
Oh,
you.
well.
You got to
Oh,
sue him
well.
personally. The Jews
Well,
ain't got enough money.
He ain't
We
gonna
ain't got
get
enough
very
money.
much. He ain't
Yeah.
gonna get very much. I ain't worth much money, Floyd. You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's almost a pretty good comparison, though. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So why I was saying that the rumor is the Toyotas and the BFLs are going to no FFS, and that is
Potentially.
because of a downturn in co-angler participation, which is obvious. I mean, there's no denying that there's a downturn because you talk to co-anglers all the time. Well, I don't want to fish as a co-angler because they're just going to get stuck behind some dude scoping, which as a co-angler, I bet that sucks.
Mhm.
But that sucks. It doesn't at the St. Lawrence River. You catch them as a co-angler in that one, but not always going there.
My deal is
I
this,
see that
though.
working out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you think they do away with forward-facing sonar? Are the co-angler entry fees going to skyrocket? Like, are they going to?
So MLF does it differently than Bass. So let's address that. So Bass, the Opens, has co-anglers, and the Opens will allow a boater to go out without a co-angler. MLF does not allow you to go out without a co-angler in the BFLs or Toyotas. So they need the exact same number of co-anglers as they do boaters. They used to do boater on boater draw, which I think they've gotten away from that because nobody wants to play that game. It's not fair.
No.
So anyway, so if you have 200 boaters, they need 200 co-anglers. They are not getting anywhere near those numbers, not around here anymore. Rayburn used to draw that kind of number. I don't even think they're close to that now. 120 now, 130 in.
I mean, they'll Rayburn like the first one or so.
I don't know, man. I think it was pretty bad.
They'll get to the 140 or 150 mark.
It's
they
been
usually
down though. So what
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
it
say is, I think what'll happen is co-angler entries may go up if they ban it, but your boater entry is going to go down because I think a lot of the guys fishing their Toyotas are that young college crowd, guys coming out of high school, younger kids trying to get in to the Toyotas to qualify for the invitationals, which you don't have to do anymore. You just put your name in, they'll let you fish them and get to the BPT.
Hey, what's your guess on the invitationals though? What about their forward-facing sonar rule? What's your guess?
Well, they don't have co-anglers, so they might just let them. The invitationals might be the Wild West of the MLF.
But you got to fish the Toyotas technically to qualify for the invitationals.
Exactly.
So that would make no sense.
Well, MLF doesn't make sense in a lot of things they do. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, they're always changing the rules, which I get. They're trying to change for the better. They're trying to grow their organization. They're trying to do what's right. I mean, change happens, but it doesn't make sense to me right now that the Invitational is a 5-fish tournament, the BPTs and every fish counts tournament. So you have to qualify you have to qualify catching 5 fish and then go transition to a every fish counts, which is totally different tournament. How do you prepare for that?
I don't have a good answer.
I mean, we got some buddies that just qualified for the BPT. I'm sure you've had conversations. I've talked to Jaden and Alec and them, like, that's going to be different for them.
Yeah, and now they may not be allowed to use live scoping in one period. So I don't know, bro. I don't know what's actually going to happen, but I feel like that survey coming out after we hear about that rumor is a pretty telltale sign that they're definitely considering it as an option,
Oh, yeah.
So,
Toyota Series. I'm trying to look for Rayburn Toyota Series. Did they have one here? There it is. Sam Rayburn, first one of the year.
yeah, first one. But
they had 144.
Yeah, I about to say somewhere between 140 and 150, which is not what they used to get. But
no.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I don't think that's because of forward-facing sonar. I think the sport has got extremely expensive and boat prices. And
I'm not blaming them
for it. Yeah, I'm just saying from if I was in the organization, I'm going to think about some other factors here, for numbers being down.
Yeah.
Now, if they've got 50 co-anglers on the waiting list.
50 boaters, you mean?
50 boaters on the waiting list, I guess that is different. I don't know.
If I was going to change a rule, I would just change. If you're trying to grow, get rid of that. You have to have a co-angler to go out.
Could you imagine if the vote swung so hard on allowing it for half a day, how they're going to police that? Could you imagine?
I don't know, man.
I'm going to use it hour 1 and 2. You got to tell your co, I'm going to use it for the first 2, take a break for about 2, use it for these 2. So technically that's half. I mean,
it's impossible to police it. I mean, I understand the period thing with the BPT. You can, turn it off. You got marshals in there to make sure it's turned off.
But do you agree with that change?
1 period versus 2 periods without? I just think it's.
Yeah.
I don't get what we're trying. I don't get. You can't. I don't see how you get rid of it. I just don't see getting rid of it. I don't see how you effectively do that.
I think we need to have Belt on pretty soon and get his take on what the rest of the industry is doing as a tournament director, to see, maybe even Clint or, have some of these local team tournament directors like, hey man, what do you think if these organizations do this? Where does that leave you?
Well, so there's organizations that are trying it, like that one that did the high entry fee. What was that organization?
Yeah, they're still trying. They're actively trying.
And they didn't get near the numbers. And then they did the same thing here. You had that guy was trying to do, which he was trying to make it a little too weird, but there are local tournaments trying to implement, organized tournaments without it, and they're not getting the participation. But I think you're right on it. The sport itself is getting expensive, so that's a whole other topic. But boats, electronics, gas. I mean, it's an expensive game.
I really wish I would have talked about this with Robert on, but I do see a point to just limiting it to a certain point. Just basically from the look it gets. I mean, like, you look at somebody that's got 4 live scope transducers. Let's say they got 2 off the back, perspective forward up front. We've got 6 graphs. We've got Lord knows how much money and batteries wrapped up in that system. You look at that whole system and you might say, hey, that whole electronics up there might cost me $60,000. And it's like, for a high school or college angler looking forward, they might say, dang, like, dude, if that's what I got to have to compete, like, even though they don't have to have that.
Yeah. I can see limiting it just so it's getting a little out of hand. Like,
yeah,
having 5 of them on your boat.
But I don't think anybody's up in arms about that. Like, hey, let's limit 2 live scope transducers, 1 live scope. I mean, 2 I think is fair. I think it's a happy medium, and I don't know, man. It's crazy. I know me and you've talked about it a little bit, but the sport has gone and just I don't even know what direction anymore. It's
Honestly,
honestly
I feel like it's
tiring.
in a dark place, man. It's everything's so
It's
negative.
tiring. It's
It's so
tiring, dude.
negative. Yeah, I'm exhausted with just the negativity, even from Roberts running with the Johnson brothers, and he just seemed to just be like, yeah, it's whatever. Which that's cool to see that attitude, and I'm sure the Johnson boys are over it too. But it's like everybody else is gonna beat that story to death, and then just same thing with the forward facing sonar, and there's a lot more negativity out there, a lot more. I see comments being thrown around about these guys, and nobody even really knows them, and that's why I like having these guys on and have conversations with them, get them to tell their story and kind of talk about situations. And
yeah, we didn't even discuss. JT getting DQ'd. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, bro. There's people getting DQ'd. Like
yeah,
I
thought about having him on.
I don't think he's at a point right now to where he could probably even discuss some
yeah,
things.
I don't know if he's going to appeal his disqualification.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, based on his video that he released, it sounded like he was going to appeal that. But
and I don't even want to get into that because I don't know the whole situation. Just like I didn't know I didn't comment or make any crazy comments until I heard about Robert. Because I didn't know. I mean, I assumed it kind of probably went that way, but I didn't know for sure. You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bad look to come in on the leader, but it's over.
It's over now.
It's over now. He got a century built out of it. I wouldn't that either.
No, the Johnson brothers did rack up though.
Yeah, they had a great weekend.
Got them 2 trophies.
Yeah, 2 trophies. Yeah,
yes, sir.
Congrats to them. I mean,
yeah.
AOI, that's such a hard one to win.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't based on one tournament by any means, but
yeah.
Shoot, I even had Chris on my fantasy team. You picked Corey, didn't you?
I picked Corey, and he won it.
Yeah, I picked Chris because AOI and all that, and he's got the better record on there. But they've both won on there now, and they've won a lot of money off that place. And will continue.
Yeah, I still like him. I've always been a fan of Corey. Chris, I just haven't really. I don't know why that is. I haven't kept up with him as much, but
Chris on paper is the better Johnson brother.
I see. I wouldn't know that. I just know that I've been a fan of them just because I like their style.
Corey's got 2 wins now this year.
Oh crap! He did win 2 this year.
Yeah.
Holy
got 2 blue
crap.
trophies. Oh,
wow.
Dude, they're absolute hammers. I mean, there's no denying that those dudes are threats on any body of water anywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2 of the best in the game and will remain 2 of the best in the game. But they are savages. They made
2 guys that adjusted to forward faces are very well.
Yeah,
very well.
Yeah. No, and they made it clear they're gonna go where they want to go. When they want to go. I mean,
oh man.
I mean,
yes,
you and I talked about that a little bit, but
yes, sir. Just like
we've also laid office spots. We have laid office spots when we weren't in contention.
Team Juice, go where we want to go.
Conroe, for example, we left an area alone.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I still don't think we would go in on the day 1 leaders, but that's just me.
No, that's what I'm saying. We didn't. We knew where they were, and we did not go there.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But anyways, we need to come out with that
Unless
t-shirt.
It's on Rayburn.
Get that design.
Unless it's on Rayburn. Everything on Rayburn is ours.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, we got to come out with that t-shirt. We got to come with that t-shirt soon.
I text Zach today about it. I asked Zach, I said, hey, man, can you make t-shirts? And he said, yeah, what do you want? How many? I think he was a little turned off by the quantity because I'm not really sure how many we're going to sell. But I told him, can you do 36 to start? We might need to pre-order those.
What did you tell him what we wanted?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
He didn't necessarily. I guess he didn't like it because he didn't really comment about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
But this was our idea before this whole Johnson brothers, G the Gangster.
Oh yeah. We've mentioned it on the show. I mean,
yeah. We already said it on the show. Our
Yeah.
spots are our spots, and your spots are our spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
Chris
don't
and
like
Corey,
it,
they would buy this. They would buy this shirt.
you don't like it, you go talk to Corey Johnson about it.
That's right.
Well,
But-
when are we doing another live hotline bling?
Hopefully we can do that later this week.
You want to do one this week?
Hopefully we can. If we can get all these boys rounded up.
Get somebody on for the live hotline bling. I'm going to upload this one. Probably it's a little late tonight, don't you think?
Yeah. What time is it now? About 11?
I might just go and throw it up. Well, I think it messes up the algorithm if you throw it up at night and it doesn't get a lot of traction.
You just set it for about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
9 a.m. Let people
Yeah.
get into work, get their coffee, and
Got the exclusive with Mr. Rob G, otherwise known as Rob G the Gangster.
Rob G the Gangster. I can't believe we were the only ones that reached out to him. What is wrong with you other podcasters out there?
I don't know.
How are you not trying to get G?
I
G
don't
the
know.
Gangster. G the American Gangster.
Well, that's it, man. Next
All
one,
right.
we're going to try to do it live. So,
We'll do a live.
all right, boys.
All right, later.